served 6 years in the Navy. I did a couple of years on board the ship. I was doing radar technician stuff. So, getting up on high ladders and going up on the mast and stuff like that. So I got out. I was not service connected at first. I did mention, I had, a shoulder pain, whatever, but they didn't rate me for that. It wasn't until I think about a year or two later when I tried following up and got started with the 10%. When the reason why I got off the ship was because I had broke my ankle and I wasn't treated at a VA hospital. It was like a sister hospital to the VA or something like that. So they didn't have the documentation readily available for them. It took a few more hoops. So I tried getting that claim, processed, but it never went through on my own. And then a couple years later, a friend reached out to me because he was working with Trajector on his thing. So he recommended it to me, and that's when, I started taking a look and started the process with it. So it was like in the middle of the process for getting my ankle and reevaluating my shoulder. I spoke to another doctor here. I don't know if he was a doctor or like a consultant for Trajector, but he was asking me some questions. He's like, what are the things can you think of that you had in the service that maybe, it's not really affecting you then or whatever, but can be an issue now. And that's when, the memory came to mind that I had an issue with my wrist early on in the service that, I got treated for and I thought I was good. But that doctor, whoever mentioned, this happens a lot and it's because of this, so this can be claimed. Sometimes at first I was like, okay, I went through my appointment and I haven't heard anything for a couple weeks. So I gave you guys a call and they're like, yeah, we're just waiting for the VA. And so it wasn't anything that you guys were, slacking on or anything like that. It was just the VA and their slow process. So I got up to 40%. So it's obviously, 4 times increase on what I was getting before. So that's just been huge on giving me peace of mind, I always have at least a little something there. Especially because, if you go through the process and you don't get an increase, then there's no loss to you. So it's only a benefit. And it costs 5 times what you get, but that's not any money that you're losing. It's just the addition that you're delaying a little bit. So I think that's, it's completely fair. I actually recommended Trajector to another friend of mine and told him pretty much, it is a little difficult just getting the questionnaires and all that stuff together and all the paperwork that you need to get the process started. And plus it's no harm to you. You don't get charged if you don't get an increase. And, it's only a benefit for you. I kind of came into the frame of mind, when I did see all the questions and stuff like that, I was like, okay, they're looking really deep into, what can be affected, what can be not apparent at first, but down the line, your body degrades, service helps with that process. So, them being able to ask a couple questions here and there and sort of link everything together really helps a lot. So